Hi guys, welcome to Kumar Consulting. So guys, this is our first session of this batch and first session will be started always from introduction. So let me begin with the introduction guys here. So in this entire what to say in my entire classes in entire session live classes, okay? So I'm going to explain this SAP FICO module, okay? But before we are going to dive into that, let me start from introduction part and that too the basic things. And what is the basic things? That is like what is SAP? Okay. So the first question is what is SAP? Now look at here. Systems, applications, and product in data processing. And most of you might have thought the same thing: systems, applications, and product in data processing. Okay. But this is just the full form of SAP, guys. Okay. This is just the full form of SAP. So the question is still remain. What is SAP? Now, look at here. The answer is it's an ERP. SAP is an ERP. Okay. Now, but again, the question is still remain because your simple answer is it's an ERP. So the next question is what is ERP? Can anybody tell me something? What is ERP? If anybody want to respond, you can unmute your audio, you can respond it, and then after you can mute it. Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay. So yes, ERP stand for Enterprise Resource Planning, right? But again, what is the definition of the ERP? This is just the full form, right? So now I'll tell you guys the definition of an ERP is hidden in the full form itself. Okay. So look at here, ERP stand for Enterprise Resource Planning. Enterprise means what? Enterprise is nothing but a huge organizations, a business organization, simply we can say, right? And resources. What are the resources required to run a particular organization? So here I have specified, here it is specified 6M, right? But if you talk about the minimum resources, guys, minimum 4M is required. Okay, that is man, money, machines, and material. These are the minimum 4M which is required to run a particular organizations, right? And P, planning. Planning about what, guys? So planning about the effective and optimum means maximum utilizations of resources. Okay, maximum utilization of resources in effective way. So generally, if we talk about the definition of ERP, guys, look at here. ERP is nothing but it's a software which helps an organization to manage their resources effectively and efficiently. It ensures the maximum utilization of its resources. How it ensures the maximum, utilization of its resources, guys? So first of all, as I said, it's a software. So ERP is a software. When you talk about ERP, if you guys like, let's suppose if you assume like some 40 years back, 30 years back, right? So in those days, most of the organizations were not having like they were not using ERP. Lots of organizations were still, uh, you know, performing all the activity manually itself. They used to maintain registers, different kind of registers were there, right? To record different kind of transactions. Even lots of if you talk about the banking system, right? So even several branches were not having like it was not they were not using ERPs. People used to carry the passbook, all the transactions. Even earlier, like if you talk about some 30, 40 years back, uh, several if you take example of bank itself, they used to write down the whatever transactions were there, that was written on the passbook manually, isn't it? So I know not like I'm talking about like when I talk about 40 years back. So most of you, of course, most of you or all of you are not there 40 years back. But in the era of our parents, isn't it? So 40 years back, 50 years back, computer was not that much prevalent, isn't it? But nowadays, what is happening? Computerization is there. Everybody are using computer, laptop, desktop, everything's are there, right? So when the computer came, then different kind of softwares also developed. Even nowadays, all the banking, whatever the banking banks are there, every banks are using different software, right? So how the software made our life easy? Of course, like if we talk about earlier, let's suppose 50 years back, if somebody has like let's suppose left the passbook at their home and if they need some informations, right? So first of all, what is their account number? How people will able to find the account number? So first of all, they have to find out all the details of the customers. Now, so how to get all the details? They used to maintain the registers, right? And the registers means number of registers will be there. So they will ask, they'll get some clue from the customer, then they will start searching in registers. It may take 2 hours also. It may take 3 hours also. It may take 1 hour also. But nowadays, like let's suppose if you want to get the same account informations, since the banks are using ERP, they are using softwares, right? So if you go to the reception counter and even if you just tell your name plus your email ID, they will find out the details. If you tell your PAN card number, they'll find out the details. If you tell your Aadhaar number, they'll find out the details, right? If you tell your name plus email ID plus contact number, they're going to find out the details, isn't it? So, because they're using ERP, they're using software, right? So, I said like software is it's a software which is so look at here now. Earlier, if you talk about some what to say 20 years back, not 20 years back, some 40 years, 50 years back. So, in those days, generally, what is happening now? If you talk about reception counter, at receptions, like let's suppose 5 people are required to manage the crowd because manual everything's for being done manually. Nowadays, what is happening? A single candidate can handle thousands of clients, thousands of customers can be handled by a single employee, isn't it? Because they're using ERP. So look at here now. So can't we say that effective utilizations and maximum utilization of resources? Because of software, now there is maximum utilization of resources are happening because earlier let's suppose 5 people, right now 1 people. So whatever the remaining 4 people are there can be utilized in some different activity, right? I'll quote a different example here of some organizations, guys. So this is what. So now if I read out, it's a software which helps an organization to manage their resources effectively and efficiently. It ensures the maximum utilization of resources, right? Here I'll quote another example, and another example is Tata Motor. So instead of Tata Motor, you guys can take example of any other company also. So Tata Motor is having different departments: sales department, purchase department, finance account, HR department. These are the major departments which will be there in any organization, guys, right? So just take example of any of the department here. Let's suppose sales department or purchase department, whatever it is. So look at here in sales department, they are having total number of employee 50. Okay. Total number of employee 50 means just assume now Tata Motor is not having any what to say Tata Motor is not using any ERP right now. They're not using any ERP right now. They're not using any software. So in that case, everything's are happening manually. They're managing different kind of registers here, right? That is being maintained manually. So total number of employees 50. Okay, to handle the entire sales department. Out of this 50 employee, 25 people involved for day-to-day transactions posting, right? And remaining 25 people involved in report preparations. Okay. So 25 people involved in day-to-day transaction posting and remaining 25 people report preparations. Because if we talk about the management of the sales department, of course, they need different kind of reports. For what? In order to take the future decisions. So report, since there everything's are being done manually, so report also supposed to be prepared manually itself. So different kind of reports are required, and for that various kind of calculations are also required, right? Now, so generally this is what the situation and scene before ERP, in the sense they are not using any ERP. But now let's suppose they decided to use an ERP, a software. It could be SAP itself. So if they decided to use the ERP software, then what will happen? Now only these 25 people are required to handle the entire sales department. Remaining 25 people, whoever involved in report preparations, these 25 people are not needed. So this entire sales department can be managed by 25 people only. Why? Because if they started using software, then what will happen? Whatever the transactions were being posted manually, whichever transactions were being posted manually, in the sense whichever transactions were getting recorded into registers, right? Now those transactions supposed to be posted here into SAP directly. So the volume of transactions are same. Earlier, let's suppose if 1000 transactions or 2000 transactions or 5000 transactions were taking place on daily basis, right now also the same transactions are there. So here the total number of people involved for transaction posting will be same, because the number of transaction values are volume is same. But these 25 people who used to prepare the report manually, these people are not required. Why? Because now once the transactions are posted here into SAP, report preparations will be done by SAP automatically. Various kind of reports will be prepared by system automatically. It is getting updated automatically, and within a second we can get different kind of reports from SAP. So these 25 resources can be utilized in some different activity, right? These 25 people can be utilized in some different activity. So look at here, efficient, and in the sense like maximum utilizations are happening. Earlier 50 people were able to manage the entire sales department. Now only 25 people are able to manage the sales department, and remaining 25 people can be deployed in some different activity. Those people can perform some different activity. There is a benefit to the organization, isn't it? So that is what the benefit of ERP, guys. ERP, that's what it's a software which helps an organizations to manage their resources effectively and efficiently, and it ensures the optimum or maximum utilization of its resources. Okay. Now, okay, so if you talk about the ERP, guys, multiple ERPs are there in the market. Here we are having SAP, Oracle, JD Edward, BAN, then Epicor, PeopleSoft, Navision, Tally, right? And various customized ERPs are also there in the market. Okay, see, we are having two kind of ERP. One is called like, here I'll just customized and standard. Okay, so two kind of ERP will be there, customized and standard. If you talk about SAP, this is standard ERP. If you talk about Tally, standard ERP, right? If you talk about Oracle, standard ERP. Standard in the sense, now what is happening, guys? If let's suppose if SAP is installed in Tata Motor, almost you can say like 95% of the steps will be same. Configurations, almost like whether it is installed and configured, in the sense, let's suppose SAP is implemented in Tata Motor. The configuration steps will be same. Same SAP is, let's suppose, implemented in a company which is there in US. Almost 95% of the configuration steps will be same. Same SAP is implemented somewhere in a company which is there in Finland, which is there in Norway, which is there in Sweden, everywhere. So most of the configuration steps will be same. So this is called standard ERP. Throughout the world, same, what to say, screens will be there, same steps will be there, same configuration steps will be there, isn't it? So these are the standard ERP. Let's suppose you guys, any of the candidate has taken training, let's suppose anywhere, okay? Somebody is giving example of Indian, project. Somebody is quoting example of US project. Somebody is quoting example of Australian project, right? That doesn't matter because everything's are, all the configuration steps are same, isn't it? So that's the reason a candidate, whoever is having like knowledge on this SAP platform, they can be able to work on Indian project or foreign project. Foreign in the sense like US project, UK project, Australian project, anywhere you guys will be able to work. Okay, so these are the standard ERP. Tally is the standard ERP. Navision is the standard ERP, right? So whichever this famous ERPs are there, Oracle is the standard ERP, right? Okay. Customized ERP, right? If we talk about the customized ERP, so customized ERP means that will be, it could be anything, name could be anything, ABC, XYZ, right? Yeah, there was a customized ERP in my previous organization. Okay, previous organization in the sense like, because I have done multiple implementations. So I'm talking about a client. Okay. So for one client, a customized ERP was there. So what is this customized ERP, guys? See, customized ERP means generally, let's suppose there is a particular organization. Okay. And that organization need a software to handle their whatever the business transactions are there. Okay. So in that case, they will invite an IT company. Let's suppose they have invited like IBM. Okay. And they have given the requirement. They have given the requirement. So eh, IBM will develop, IBM will develop a particular ERP for this organization only. For which organizations? Any organizations, whatever the organization is there, that ABC Limited or whatever the organization is there. Okay. So for that particular organizations, IBM will develop a particular ERP, a particular software based on their requirement exactly. Right. So that is called customized ERP. That ERP, you, in the sense that software you won't be finding anywhere. Nowadays in market, I'll tell you guys, like let's suppose once you learn this SAP, right? So there are multiple customized ERPs are there in the market. Okay. These are the small ERP and they are looking for a support consultant for their ERP. But the problem is, since that is the customized one, so no one is having any idea about that except few people. And that guy has left the organizations. Now who will provide the support? So those people simply focus on SAP consultant. They hire the SAP consultant. They'll give certain some 1 month, 2 month KT. KT is a kind of training itself, we can say. And those people are going to deploy the SAP consultant itself. So SAP consultant means you guys can work on SAP, but even whatever these customized ERPs are there, for that also they are preferring SAP consultant, they are hiring SAP consultant. But again, the question is, so let's suppose if somebody got an opportunity to work on such kind of, to support this customized ERP, of course, initial CTC is quite good. But when you talk about the growth, is there any growth? So the growth is zero because it is a customized ERP. which is being used by one organizations, two organizations, maybe some, if they have given the similar, they have offered the similar, what to say, same kind of ERP to some different organizations. So maybe for some 4 or 5 organizations are there, right? So in that case, if this ERP is being used in a single organization or 4 organizations or 3 organizations, so look at here, guys, your opportunity is quite restricted now. It is limited. You can switch between these 3 organizations only. So there is a kind of monopoly. Initially, they have given a good CTC. After that, what will happen? After that, they'll say that we can give only this much hike because they know that you can't go anywhere. But for SAP, it is being used by several thousand organizations, right? Every second, you guys will be having opportunity, and then offers will be there, isn't it? So that's the reason I never suggest my student that, because in past several lots of my student got such kind of opportunity. I simply denied. I said better not to go, right? Because it's a kind of, we can say like it's a kind of uh, you know going on a suicidal mission, because if you join and after that there is no any future opportunity, you have to be there in that organization itself whole life, right? So anyway, so customized ERP means based on, so organizations will understand the requirement of that organization, that particular client, and they will develop a software that is called customized software, customized ERP, which you won't be finding anywhere. That is there in a particular organizations only, or maybe 1 or 2 organizations or 3 organizations, not more. But standard means, of course, throughout the world it will be available. Of course, in a multiple organizations, it will be used, and everywhere the implementation steps will be same, screen will be same, transaction code will be same, right? So this is the difference between customized and standard ERP. Okay. Now, so these are the leading ERP in the market, guys. But when you talk about SAP, SAP is the market leader. Okay, SAP is the market leader. Now, okay. So if we talk about modules here in SAP, if let's suppose if you have to learn SAP, if you decided to learn SAP, right? So SAP is divided into different module. It's not like that entire SAP you guys are going to learn, because I get multiple calls from different candidate. There are some people are overexcited. So this is like, first of all I have to learn FICO, then I'll be learning then I'll be learning SD. Right? It is impossible, guys. Even if you spend your entire life, then also you guys are not going to become expert of FICO. Right? Or even if you spend your entire life, also you cannot become expert of or SD. Such kind of huge depth is there, isn't it? So you have to, so you guys are going to learn a particular module. You have to be expert of a particular module, right? But at broader level, these modules are divided into 2 parts, that is functional module and technical module. Okay. Functional module means again all the standard activities, all the standard transactions code, in the sense like I'll tell you, standard configuration steps will be there. Okay. Standard configuration steps will be there in functional module. Okay. In functional module, all this, whenever I'm typing something, guys, I'm typing in a shortcut, so don't look at the spellings. So in functional module, generally all the standard configurations will be there. Okay. What is this configurations? No need to worry. Once I complete that, few theoretical sessions will be there. After that, the practical session will be started, and I'm going to explain everything practically. Okay. So there we have to, like, multiple classes will be there on this configuration, so you guys are going to be expert, no need to worry. So all the standard configurations will be there. Okay. Where? In functional module. And when you talk about the technical module, so technical module means we have to go for development. Okay. Development, or it is also called customization, right? So customization means codings will be involved. Okay, it's a technical coding. Okay, so for that, people must be from a technical background. So here you guys are going to learn functional module. But again, if we talk about the functional module, in functional module also we are having different kind of modules. Look at here. So functional module stand for FI, finance. Then we are having CO, controlling, MM, material management, SD, sales and distribution. Then we are having HR. So it's not like these are the only functional module, guys. I have just quoted few. SAP is having huge number of modules. Day by day, they keep on adding the new modules, new activities, right? Recently, now artificial intelligence was introduced in the market. Immediately, SAP is adopted that, right? They have added AI also. Okay, so such kind of SAP is taking quick actions. If any new things was introduced in the market, immediately they will adopt. That's the reason they are a very big player in the market. It is impossible to defeat SAP. Whatever the closest competitors are there of this SAP, they are also, it's like the distance is quite, too much. Let's suppose if SAP has acquired 75% of the market share, the closest competitor is like 24%. So where is 75%? Where is 24%? Right? So that is the thing. Okay. So now, so functional modules means FICO, HR. Then we have other modules also. PP is there, production planning. Then QM is there, quality management. Right? PM is there, that is called plant maintenance. PS is there, project system. So different modules are there. Technical module means the famous one is ABAP and BASIS. Okay. So what exactly ABAP people are doing, what exactly BASIS people are doing. So that also I'll give some explanations in upcoming classes. Okay. In upcoming classes, in the sense, slowly you guys will be having little bit idea about these people also, what exactly they are doing. Okay. Now, so these are the modules which is there. And of course, here in this entire session, we are going to discuss about finance. Okay. Now, there is one more thing. So sometimes people ask like S for HANA. Okay. So what is this S for HANA? Here what I have written. Okay, ECC and S for HANA. Yes. So people ask like S for HANA. See, I'll tell you guys. So whatever I have quoted here, these are the name of module in SAP that you guys have to learn. Okay. And here S for HANA. What is this S for HANA, guys? So S for HANA is the version. Okay, version means, see, whatever the softwares are there, every softwares means lots of like developments will be there in the software, lots of improvement will be there in the software also. They'll keep on adding some new functionality. So if they have added some new functionality, then what will happen? They will introduce the same software with a different version name. Right? We are using WhatsApp, we are using Facebook. You guys receive some upgradations kind of message that you have to upgrade it, you have to update your software. So if you update the software version will be changed. WhatsApp was having a different version earlier, and right now different versions are there, isn't it? So when you talk about like 5 years back, 10 years back, look at the functionality which was there 5 years back or 10 years back or 7 years back, and look at the functionality which is there right now. They keep on adding the new functionality. The same thing is applicable here into SAP also, and other ERPs also, other softwares also, right? So ECC now it become old version, and here the S4 HANA. S4 HANA is the latest version. Okay, in S4 HANA again, the different releases will be there. Okay, S4 HANA, like earlier, like 2020 was there, then 2021, 2022, right now 2023 is going on in the market. Okay, every year nowadays, every year releases are not there. The next version, okay, will be released. We are expecting the next version, release of next version at the end of this year. Okay, so S for HANA is the latest version. This is what is going to be explained. On this version itself, I'll explain the entire, what to say, configurations. Okay. So this is all about the introduction part, guys. So that's all in this session, and that's all for today.